Chelsea Football Club, it looks like they're putting Conor Gallagher up for sale, even though Mauricio Pochettino comes out publicly to say he wants to keep him and give him a new contract. We're going to talk about the ramifications of this move, why fans are really upset, and I'm going to try to break down the logic behind what the ownership is thinking and why the directors might be smart to do this. Nicholas Jackson comes out with comments that I will know Mauricio Pochettino did not want him to come out with, but it's explosive, it's basically a rant, and Nicholas Jackson shows his immatureness and how young he is. I kind of like it. And more importantly, Lewis Hall update on the transfer to Newcastle and a preview and a breakdown of the full press conference that Mauricio Pochettino done for Chelsea versus Newcastle, where he spoke about the players that are back fit. We've got an update on Oni Madueke's future. We've got Christopher Nkunku, the minutes quota that he's going to be playing potentially. And finally, why Mauricio Pochettino doesn't want to win the Carabao Cup for himself, but for all of us. Let's get into it. Let's break this down. It's going to be a good one. Welcome to the Kavkas View, bratuchi. Evidently, you have seen the intro for the video. You like what you heard. You like the layout of the video. And more importantly, you've stayed this far to watch it. So all I need from you guys is to hit the like button. We're aiming for 1,000 likes on this video. And subscribe if you're new. We are aiming for 31,700. Well, the road is started. We're like 70 people away. It's really started to speed up. I greatly appreciate it. Now let's move on with the video because it's a long one. Conor Gallagher is very polarized. I think ever since Mason Mount left, there's been a big infatuation and rush towards Conor Gallagher purely based on the fact that he's come through Cobham. People really love the way he commits himself to the team, and he's actually really grown on me. I think I had the perception of Conor Gallagher where Conor Gallagher's technically not good enough for Chelsea. Yes, he runs around, but Conor Gallagher has developed, and I've seen the importance of him to contribute to this team. Do I think Conor Gallagher is world class? No. Do I think Conor Gallagher is fantastic? No. But do I think Conor Gallagher can play a role in this Chelsea team at this current stage? 100%. So after the game, Mauricio Pochettino was asked questions about the future of Conor Gallagher. He was asked, do you think there's going to be a contract? And he basically said this, and I will summarize it, but the quotes will be up for you guys to see. I'm the manager. I don't have a say in the negotiations. It's between the player and the camp and the directors. My views are very clear. Mauricio, you said you weren't going to comment, but evidently you're going to comment. I play him every game. He's my captain. He's very important to me. Now rumors are coming out from the Telegraph that Mr. Conor Gallagher is up for sale in January. If the right offer comes in, he's going to be going out the door. And for me, what I really want to say here, what does this article say? If the right offer comes in, he's going out the door. If the right offer comes in for Nkunku, I wouldn't be surprised if Chelsea sell him. If the right offer comes in for Reece James, I won't be surprised if they're going to sell him. So don't overreact. But, of course, Chelsea fans will overreact. And what have I seen? It's unacceptable. They want to get rid of Cobham. That's not true. Reece James and Levi Colwill are permanent pieces in this team. Armando Broja has got a new contract and is actively spoken about from Pochettino in high regard, and they don't want to get rid of him as of this moment. Why are they talking like this about the one and only Conor Gallagher? Well, this is what I think, right? I think Chelsea spent a lot of money on Moises Caicedo, Levi Colwill, Romeo Lavia, and Enzo Fernandez. The idea is that those three will be the starters in a 4-3-3. You're going to have 6 in Levi, 8 in Caicedo, who's going to replace Conor Gallagher's position, and Enzo Fernandez being the one that just runs the game, sets the tempo, and is the creative outlet in the team. That is the idea. People are going to say, why is Conor Gallagher not going to come off the bench? Because they've already invested into young players to fit the profiles of the players that I've mentioned already. We're going to have Carney Chukwuemeka be Enzo's understudy, Santos being Caicedo's understudy, and the one and only Leslie Ogochukwu being Lavia's understudy. A lot of you are going to say, that's crazy, why have they done that? They've done that because they've already got a plan. They've got all these players on specific wages that aren't inflated. They've got them where they've built the midfield in their eyes. This is their opinion for the foreseeable future. And Conor Gallagher was never in the plan. Conor was never meant to break that plan. I am convinced, right? They did not think Pochettino would love Conor Gallagher the way he does. And now they're like, hold on, he's not in our plan. So we're going to sell him regardless because this is our plan. And we don't care what Pochettino thinks, because right now we can get up to 60 or 70 million pounds for Conor Gallagher, and that money can be reinvested into a Victor Osimhen, into a Mike Maignan, into another centre back, into a left back. And people are going to say, you have to listen to the manager, it's important. You don't. Guys, we used to be under a structure where Mourinho used to get Sarri whatever he wanted. Higuain, Jorginho, don't worry. Conte wanted older players, we used to get him older players. Jose in his second tenure wanted certain players, we used to get it for him. Frank wanted certain players, we used to get it for him. We used to build for managers and not directors. Now we've got a director and they're going in a different field. Do I agree with the vision? Not really. I don't. I really don't. I think Conor Gallagher should be staying on a reduced contract. On a contract that represents a bench player's contract. Somewhere near in and around what he's getting. I guarantee you Conor wants starter money. And as he should. Conor should be asking for starter money. So once Conor's asking for starter money, I kind of understand why Chelsea say, you know what, Con? Maybe we'll take the 70 million and we'll move on off you. So that's my opinion. I don't know whether he's going to stay or he's going to leave. I feel very neutral about it. If they decide to sell him and we get 60 million pounds for Conor Gallagher, no problem at all. If we sell him for 40 million, I've got a problem. It has to be the right offer. That's my personal opinion. Now let's move on with the next story. One thing I'm going to tell you guys right now is when you have a young squad, you need to remember that they're not professionals, right? And when I tell you, not that they're unprofessional off the pitch and they're doing nonsense, it's because they haven't been in the environment when they have to do professional interviews on a regular basis. They most probably get very comfortable around journalists and they're going to answer questions where they think this guy is trying to be my friend. He's asking me nice questions. But in reality, this guy is asking you a horrible question and he's setting you up to flop. And Jackson got set up. And his comments came out, and if you read it, they're very explosive. He was like, Pochettino consistently tells me, don't listen to other people. They don't know football. Salah was here, KDB were here, they never got the chance, they're treating you like this, I'm going to make sure you're good. And then he said, I don't listen to them either, because they don't know football, I know myself, I trust in myself. And a lot of fans got upset at this. They're like, oh my God, he's saying we don't know football. I love this, I can't lie to you. This is a player for me that backs himself. I need that kind of arrogance from my number 9. I don't care if Nicholas Jackson thinks I don't know ball. I rate Nicholas Jackson, by the way. I think he's a very good 22-year-old striker. I'm getting exactly what I expected from a 22-year-old striker. So if he thinks I don't know ball, if he thinks you don't know ball, I don't care. Just perform on the pitch, big man. You perform on the pitch, we all shut up. So when he's got that kind of attitude, if that gets you Super Saiyan mode, ready to Kamehameha everyone on the pitch, I'm perfectly fine. I don't care. Like, genuinely serious. I think Poch will care though, because Poch most probably told you that stuff in confidence, and you can't go yapping around and telling the whole world, oh yeah, Pochettino told me these men don't know what they're talking about. So I think he needs to be careful there, because he could get in himself and his manager in a little bit of trouble. But at the same time, I've got no problem with him feeling that way, because I'll be honest, I'm on Twitter a lot, I'm in the YouTube comments a lot, I talk to other fans on a daily basis. Some people don't know ball, and that's not just my opinion, and most probably people listen to me and say, you don't know ball. So it's a game of opinions, and that's the fact of the matter. Now on to the game against Newcastle. So it looks like Chelsea Football Club at this moment in time have got a deal with Newcastle for Lewis Hall, who has gone on loan. And Chelsea have decided, you know what, Lewis, you can play against us tomorrow in the EFL Cup. And the reality is, I've got no problem with it. Chelsea have done this in the past with Fikayo Tomori and Mason Mount when Frank Lampard was the manager at Derby. They said, you know what, both players can play. We've got no problem. It's good for their development. That's why they're there. And if we aren't good enough to beat Derby with them in the pitch, then so be it. And for me, that is very true and open and honest. We need to be transparent, people. I think it's very important that we maintain the evidence that Chelsea can't be petty right now and not let Lewis Hall develop. But we also have to be honest and ask why they're letting him play. Does it benefit them if he plays and he just marks another criteria off for appearances or minutes played or X or Y or Z because they want that guaranteed £35 million that Newcastle don't want to do? We're going to find out tomorrow if Newcastle play him or not. But the reality is, it is very evident that Chelsea have no intention of him returning because they would rather take the money. So it's interesting, but we'll see what happens. Chelsea versus Newcastle tomorrow, and the press conference was very interesting. I saw Maurizio Pochettino sitting down, he was very relaxed, and Mopo really looks like he's going to speak about a lot of stuff, and he's going to be very transparent and honest. He's very confident in himself at the moment. Maybe he's got to kick up his ass. Maybe he's realized, you know what, I'm at Chelsea. I kind of need to act like I know what I'm doing. Otherwise, the fans are going to eat me up. And he's given us an update on injuries. Bad news in the sense that we don't know what's going on with Reece James. We don't know whether he's going to require surgery or not. We'll find out. Good news, Romeo Lavia should be available for the weekend and should be making the bench hopefully and get a few minutes here and there if needed. I don't think we're going to rush him. We've seen that with Maurizio Pochettino. Noni Madueke is back in full training. He is currently back with the squad and participated, and Ornstein has come out with an article that's saying Noni ain't going nowhere on loan. So if Noni leaves, he's going on a permanent. Which, in essence, is a good thing and a bad thing. I think Noni needs a loan. I genuinely think Noni Madueke at this moment in time is being not utilised well enough. He's too good of a player to just be sitting on the bench. But it is what it is. On to the next. The one player that is going to be having a part to play tomorrow is Christopher Nkunku. Christoph, as the one and only Pochettino calls him, is going to be available for around 20 minutes. They pressured him. They asked him 3 questions. And he went down 3 avenues. He said he's going to be available for around about 20 minutes tomorrow. He's not fit enough to play even more. Which lets me know that against Sheffield, they were seriously risking him. Because if he's only available for 20 minutes now, what was he be available? And he really said, I had 1-2% doubt. I wasn't risking it. And the reality is, after a few training sessions, he looks better now. I won't be shocked if we're winning 2-0 tomorrow if we don't see Christopher Nkunku. I genuinely would not be shocked. Then they asked him about the style of the player. And he said, look, Christopher Nkunku's amazing. Like, I can play him in the 9, I can play him in the 10, I can play him in the 11, I can play him in the 7. He is that talented, and we've got 2 strikers in Broja and Jackson. We've got wingers, we've got 10s, we've got right wingers. We're fine. Like, that position is really starting to get our players back. So we don't need to add too many bodies in. And for them, it's very good right now to develop. And I think this is perfect. We waited this long for Christopher Nkunku. I don't want to rush. Like, genuinely, do not rush him back. Let him rest. Let him recuperate. Even if needed, Wolves, use him at Wolves. If not, Palace. Like, we've waited this long. Wait a bit more. Stop risking him. I don't want him to come back and re-aggravate an injury and be out for a while. Not for me. The final story tomorrow is they really tried to get him to go on record and say he wants to win this cup for himself. Because they asked him in numerous ways. Like, they were pushing the journalists. They said, oh, do you want to you consider yourself an elite manager, so shouldn't you have to win a trophy in England? He's like, we have to win a trophy. Then they're like, what does it mean to you tomorrow to win a trophy? He was like, yes, it will mean a lot to me, the fans, everybody at the club. We need to win it together. And they kept on pushing. They tried to get a little clickbait out of him. They couldn't, because he wasn't committing to it. And the reason I think he wasn't committing to it is because he knows there's a chance we might lose to him. There's a very good possibility that Newcastle might beat us, because at the moment they're a Champions League side and we're a mid-table side. So that is the urgency that he's accepting. He's managing expectations. For me personally, I can't lie to you, at this moment in time, I think he is really driving his luck. Personally, I've got no problem with Maurizio Pochettino doing this. I think it's called managing expectations, and for me, that is the way that a manager should be. Manage expectations, learn to work within the confinements that you put in, and then from there, we go forward. The reality is, Chelsea tomorrow need to win. If we win tomorrow, we are in a very good position, because Chelsea Football Club at that moment in time will be very possibly getting a championship side in the semi-final, and then we're in a final, and then we can party. And then all of a sudden we can get a trophy, and then this new ownership group doesn't look as bad. That's my personal opinion. What's yours? Let me know your thoughts. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I hope you lot enjoyed the video. I know it's going to be an interactive one in the comments. Peace out, I'm out.